Okay, so went through this little tutorial earlier, starting out with p5.js, which is like a creative coding library. Um, and I had a lot of fun doing it, so I figured I'd make a video. And this is the tutorial I followed here. I'll try to put links in the description, like how I found it and everything. I kind of feel like I'm a little late to the party, but so this is probably like one of the best coding tutorials I've ever seen, actually. It's all on Twitter. So we're going to make some generative art right now. And it's going to take us 10 minutes, hopefully. So it'll come out something like this, and it'll actually be different every single time, which will be really cool. So here we go. Let's get into it. So this is what we start with here, and he's pretty aware, or they're pretty aware of that. So you want to open this. This is the editor. This is sort of like an online code editor that what we do over here will come out over here. Let's see if anything happens. So it makes a little canvas there. So let's get familiar. He says, this tells everything. You see I liked all of these. Let's make the first few changes. So well, I'll show you what this does later, but basically the code just keeps like looping like over and over, and it's kind of crazy without this line of code. So we'll start there. The next little bit is he does this, and I think this is just for the colors that makes it available. Okay, and then here we're just making the background like a pretty color of white. So you can see now it's like tasteful. And then time to draw. So we'll come here, go down to the next line. Line 50, 350. So this defines like the size of the line. You can see in the next spoiler alert. These are like the x and y values. I'm pretty sure this is x1, y1, x2, y2. I could be wrong. But that's how it's laid out. That's a little complex to know at this point, but you get our first line, so that's pretty rad. Like we're talking to a computer. Pretty neato. Okay, so on to the next. This is where it goes from just being a line to generative art. So like every time we run the program, it's generating something new. So we want to do this line here. We want to change this up to random, which is a function in itself. And don't worry if you don't know what that means. It just takes in some information like 50 and 350. And you can kind of see before. I'll just show you. So this is what we had before, and that was how it's laid out. This is how the new one's going to be laid out. So this function just takes and picks a number between these two numbers, 50 and 350. And we're just going to set every single one. So you see there's a 50 here. We're just doing this instead. So I think he does 350. Again, I hope you can't hear my laptop taking off. And then we do 350 again. And last one, all the same. Pretty easy to remember. I could have copy pasted, but I avoided that. Okay, so then we'll take this out. Maybe a little semicolon. And so now when we hit play every time, that line's gonna show up in like a different spot, which is kind of cool. Alright, he says, let's see. Okay, so he says it best. Vary the x and y value of each point of the line by picking a random number between 50 and 350 each time. Okay. So, think about how many variations. That's really cool. Now let's embellish above the line function. So we're going to do this up here. We'll add some spaces to be clean. Stroke cap. So what this is going to do is there's a few different of these, and you can see it initializes here, it turns a color. This is just giving it a shape, and I'll show them like a little bit how it's different. And then we go stroke weight. This is, I think, how thick the lines are. And the next one is, and then stroke. This time we're going to do copy paste because it's not as fun. So, I believe that's 100. Come on. I think we only have 3 of these this time. The second line here, he explains it. Second line sets the thickness, 25 pixels, chunky, okay. The third line says you want a random number between 0 and 50, 0 and 100 for the hue, saturation, light. So this is just randomizing color. That's good to know. And we need a semicolon. Alright, so let's do it. Very cool. Okay. Now click a bunch. We did that. Okay, so biggest upgrade will make one line doesn't feel like enough. We'll add a while loop which says run this section of code X many times in a row. So we're going to start here. I think that we want to tab this over. JavaScript, I don't think it really matters, but don't hate me for that. So loops 5. Is that a semicolon? Right, so we're just making a variable here. We're setting loops to 5. While loops goes down. I believe that's what that means in shorthand. And this isn't like a normal code editor, so we can't surround it and do something fancy. We just sort of drop this in here. I think this happens at the end. Just want to make sure. Where does this one start? Let's just see if it works. Okay, I definitely forgot something. This stroke weight random. So it ends here. So now you got your random art, which is cool. And so it just makes the line 5 different times. And then we do something really cool at the end here. Do function mouse pressed square brackets, save canvas, output, save. I'm trying to get this done in 10 minutes. And saves as a PNG file. So now when we do this, click on it, and now it's saved. And we can literally do that every time. You can see I did a bunch before. You just keep doing it, that's bouncing. So yeah, it's cool. So I promised I'd show you what the difference is here. I just know this because I made one earlier. It makes them like that. And the reason I know that is because I looked for it. This is the documentation. So I just came here because I was interested. It's kind of wild documentation, I want to be honest. Round, square. So if we don't do anything here, it'll just be round. This is all you really need to start. I'll put links in the description below, like how you get to where, whatever. I'll even put this guy's thread. And yeah, thanks for watching.